ball, and the noise and the atmosphere and everything has changed so much in the last 12 months.
No, so
absolutely wonderful.
You really have noticed a difference.
Very much so, very much so. And the gardening has just been the beginning of what I hope will be a very long relationship. And I think the older service users are very excited about working with artists and artistic young people, as they term it. And I think to have them involved in the commissioning of the work, and perhaps even participating in a sort of painting by numbers type way.
Yeah, so they get to do some of those.
Absolutely, and it's been interesting because having put a piano in there, when I first asked for musicians, I was told there aren't any, or no, none of us play. And extraordinarily, pianists have appeared, and sessions start, and they've actually started using the piano as a form of communication. It stopped a boring meeting the other day, apparently. They had a speaker come in that they decided was boring, and somebody stood up and started playing the piano, and it changed and enlivened the whole thing. So if they can do that through painting and their environment, it would just be perfect, absolutely perfect. Living life right to the end instead of waiting for it to happen. Be so great.
You can tell us about what we did in the past, so what we did with the garden and how students have been involved with so far up to now, and then we'll talk about what we want to do in the
Brilliant.
future.
Okay, well the garden was, well, it wasn't a garden, it was a patio area that was full of weeds and lots and lots and lots of grape hyacinth that had taken over and nothing else. And when we first started to talk with the University of Portsmouth, that was the potential idea, and it was about skills exchange. And it was surprising actually how much the older people had forgotten. They'd given up their gardens some years ago, moved into apartments, and it's inspired a lot of them to bring their own plants in, to grow more of their own, to share them with friends. And it's gone from being a grape hyacinth jungle, if there is such a thing, to a proper garden with rose bushes. We've had vegetables, we've had all sorts. And the interaction with the students has actually shown in the attendance of our old people during the day. Because of student timetables, they could only come in on designated days, and we now actually have waiting lists for those days. So it's mattered very much to our older people that they mix with younger people and have this exchange, and it's worked so well. We've had lunches al fresco out there, which has been wonderful, absolutely wonderful. And the doors are open all the time now, whereas previously that just never happened.
Yeah.
So it's been totally superb, and there is no having to sell working with the university. Our older people would very much love it to continue.
So the perception of students has changed, do you think, from older
people? I think dramatically. And I think every student that's left, the older people chose to do them a presentation. And in some instances it was things they made, other times they raised funds, and it's been celebratory all the way through. And I think they were very sad to see them go in the summer, actually.
Yeah.
If we could magically have you all here all year, that would be perfect. But it gives them something to look forward to as well.
Definitely.
So they'll be thrilled to know that we're going to be working together again.
So what do you sort of see in the future, more partnership projects that we could be working with students and elderly people?
I think we already link through social work. We've now linked through the student union, and I would love to see more work between the different departments across the university, because as we all know, lifelong learning is just that. It doesn't stop once you've got your degree, it carries on, and it takes all different forms. And we could be talking about English language, we could be talking about creative writing, history. Some of those things are more obvious, but I think to get the participation on a physical level would be absolutely amazing. I'm working perhaps with sports students, and sports therapy students would also be an ideal, because best will in the world, no matter how healthy you are, we're all getting older.
Yeah.
So our imaginations really are the only things that are going to restrict us. Why should it?
Yeah, exactly. And obviously really excited about painting the mural on the
Oh,
corridor.
I can't wait. I can't wait. I absolutely can't wait for that. And I know that several of our older people are very keen to be involved. And I think a bit like the piano, we're going to find that although they're claiming they're not artists, we've probably got talent there that we didn't know we had. And I think allowing them to be part of I call it the commissioning process when I'm talking to them. You know, you're commissioning this work, get involved in what you want. It can be anything. And I have shown them pictures ranging from street graffiti right through to more classical Roman columns and grapevines and that sort of thing. And to have it, I don't think they can quite envisage it's just spilling into whatever rooms and doors happen to come along the corridor. And I think they can't believe that that's what I'm actually allowing to happen and want to happen, because the previous environment was a bit care centre orientated. You know, the lovely pink walls. It's just bland, and life shouldn't be, and it isn't, unless we make it. So we can turn it around.
What designs did they come up with? They come up with any designs yet?
They haven't specifically yet. We didn't want to jump the gun, but I think because I'm inclined to be that way myself, I've tended to step back a bit, because what I'd like to happen is for the students to inspire the older people rather than me. And because I'm here on a daily basis and the boss, I don't want them to feel they have to respond to me. I'd like it to be a true interaction between the students, so that the older people inspire the students, but the students' youth and excitement inspire and regenerate and revive our older people. So that there's in-depth discussion, and of course it could be political, it could be anything. So that's how I'd really like to see it work.
Do you think there'll be more people into the centre?
Definitely.
Having that sort of activity?
Oh, absolutely, without doubt. And to have an art gallery type environment, so that the students can display their work, and we can cycle through different themes that perhaps students are working on at the time, and support them here by displaying their work. I think that would be invigorating for everybody, and a thrill for the students to actually be able to say my work is displayed in, and it really helps. It gets it into the community too. Without doubt, since I've been here and across the last 12 months with our relationship, the number of people that are coming through the door has increased enormously, and I think more people in the community are aware of us. We're not just, you know, the old charity for the old folks. It's about life, and it's about everybody's grandparents. And that participation is absolutely crucial. So
That's fantastic. Is there anything else you want to mention about the students, or have we covered quite a lot, I think?
We have really. I think probably the only other thing, I don't know whether it would even feed into it, is it was also the students, one of our social work workplace students, who created the cookery remit. And what's been very interesting about that is we now actually have a considerable group of sight disability right through to blind people coming in here, because that tactile approach has been really appreciated, and that actually came from one of the University of Portsmouth students, and it's been amazingly easy to continue it and to grow it and to turn it into something that our older people want to do. The greatest thrill is that they love learning the new recipes and they love taking something home with them. But the tactile element for people that are blind is just wonderful. Rolling dough and making pastry, and then having the lovely crunchy feel once it's been cooked is exactly. So it's been amazing. So all credit to the university. It's been wonderful, really wonderful.
Oh, brilliant.